in a noisy warehouse at the moment, pumps running, crash van work going on out there, but we'll still carry on. So Ken,
Hi Mark,
how are we doing today?
doing well, sir.
Pretty warm, isn't it?
We're in a warehouse though, and not many people get excited about
No air conditioning. but
seeing
here we
lift
are.
vans and crates and everything else.
Yeah, here we're doing.
I enjoy being here.
Good. Welcome to Walter Bar. So, what is Ken? Where does he come from? How do we end up here?
Mark, I grew up with a family of 5 brothers and a sister and a good mom and dad.
What went wrong?
We learned the value of hard work. We learned the value of togetherness. And I was told at about age 12 to get a paper route. And that's where it started. And I've been working since, and it's been very, very good. We're still a close family. My parents taught me good values, which I only try to live up to every day. And it's working.
Well, good for you. So presumably you like your job.
Mark, I do like my job, and sad to say there are a lot of people in this world that get up that are not happy about doing it. Me, I find my job is exciting. It's interesting. People are moving all over the world.
Always for a reason, and you have no idea what until you talk to them, right?
I live a very boring life, and my clients are going to all these exotic places, Portugal, Spain, England, etc. So you kind of like live vicariously, is that the right word? Like through them?
Do you wish you were going with them?
One day I will,
Yeah.
Mark.
Do you want
One day I'm going to stop and go.
You're going
I'm
to ask
gonna
me for a quote, and I'll move you over there?
that'd be a good thing one day.
Yeah. So what qualities do you think you have that makes this work? Looking after
you know what?
our
We-
UPAC Plus customers.
We kidded around a lot in the last 2 or 3 minutes. But seriously, moving internationally, it's a big change of life for our clients. There's pressure. There's a million things for them to do on their do list. Do I take this couch? Do I not take this couch?
Have I cancelled the electric? Yeah.
Different hours are calling, different time zones are calling. You need to be there. You almost need to be a rock for them.
Yeah.
And
Hold their hand.
yeah, talk to them in a calm voice. We've done this since 1988. We do about 3,000 or 4,000 of these a year. You're not the first person, and we'll help you. And I honestly get a sense of joy out of helping others, very simply.
I agree. Yeah. And I love hearing their stories. Why they're moving, what's going on, what's behind the scenes here that we don't know about.
That's all interesting. That's great dinner time discussion.
Yeah.
You know, you should hear what happened today, honey.
Yeah.
This guy.
What this
It's-
person's doing. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. All kinds of things, all kinds of different jobs. Right, people are moving. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
What's a great tip for people moving overseas?
Trust the person and trust the company that you're working with. Are they responsive? Do they talk to you in plain English? Do they make common sense? Do they put themselves in your shoes? Empathy, I think the word is. That's important. And then get a sense of trust, because you're going to be with them for the next 8 weeks and beyond.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
It's important to me.
Yeah, I agree.
At least I think that's what's important to
And
me.
hopefully we do that. And hopefully we do that. We give them that sort of
That's what we
confidence.
try.
Yeah.
Back to your first question, what gets you excited about getting up in the morning? And
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've moved 7 times overseas myself, and I feel sometimes talking to customers, you can relate to what they're feeling, and you understand the ins and outs of all the little things that hit you that you don't realise were going to hit you. You know, like last time we moved to Holland, we get there, like, it's really hard to find a place to live. As I know customers find that problem, you know, it's like, don't worry, we can store it, go and get an Airbnb, and when you find a place, just let us know.
Let me know.
But yeah, you never know what's going to hit you.
And the other thing is, if you'll give me a chance to brag, that's not only your and my thinking, it goes throughout our staff. You know, Kate will catch you on the other end, and it's our people. Stephen will help you. He'll talk to you when you get there. He'll help you find a place if you need it. You know, it's just a helping culture.
We have an elder over there in the office. She speaks like 6 languages. I mean, she's basically got the whole of Europe covered in your own language. It's amazing. Yeah,
it's
good people.
And we could do it in an honest, open, common sense way. Does this make sense for you? And if you'll allow me to go on a little bit more, what makes sense for a 25-year-old is different than a 55-year-old, which is different than a 75-year-old. And you try to work with them.
I'm in the latter on that one.
No, you're not. Not yet, Mark. You better hope you get there. Keep going.
So what's a good fun fact about Ken?
A fun fact about Ken. Well, I thought a lot about this question, Mark, but maybe we won't lose clients by you could cut it out. I have a 21-year-old Jeep Wrangler.
Do you really?
And I spend a lot of money on this stupid thing. I scrape it, I paint it, I clean the tires, everything.
Do you only take it out on Sundays when the sun shines?
Oh, I spend too much money on it. I don't tell my wife how much money I spend on it. And
I used to have a boat like that.
but Mark, when you take that top off, you put a cooler, your favorite beverage in the back, take the back seat out, and ride out to the beach on Sunday.
You feel like the Beach Boys.
That's a simple fun fact that Ken, and I keep that Jeep, and none of the kids are getting it.
Good for you. I know another fun fact about Ken.
Yeah.
You do triathlons. Good for you. I can't. You know, I could never do that. So,
Mark, I hope these people don't look and see where I place in these triathlons. But
I couldn't finish. I think it's amazing, Ken, that you can do that. How do you train and manage to pull up the hours you work and you still do triathlons?
A triathlon happens to be running, biking, and swimming. You pick any three other things, you do a triathlon in your own life, and everybody does a triathlon in their life. But a triathlon, to me, first, when I sign up and spend the money on it, I eat a lot better for the next month, and I train better, and I live better. And then another thing that's exciting to me besides the Jeep, when you're in that race and you're pushing yourself to be the as far as you could push yourself, it's exhilarating. And I think anything we do, Mark, where you push yourself to the limit, it's an exciting thing. And then when the triathlon is over and I look at my time, I say, I'm never doing one of these stupid things again. I'm going to do a different hobby, collect stamps or garden or something like that. And 2 weeks later, I'm looking for the next race. It's just
good for you.
What I do.
I think it's fantastic. And when you
it's a
swim,
fun
I mean,
thing.
you're not swimming in a pool. You're swimming across lakes, with alligators in and stuff, right?
You know, it's. I told you this once in an email. Sometimes the waves are going over your head and you can't see where you're going. You just keep swimming. Isn't that a symbolism of life? Sometimes the waves are coming at you. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, don't give up.
You keep stroking. You'll get there. And you do. You do. That's my triathlon. At least that's what I'm thinking during the triathlon.
I think it's amazing.
Plus, I have a weakness for New York cheesecake, and I cut it out at that time.
Good for you. Well, you look great.
I hope I'm answering these questions the right way.
So what's the best move you ever booked or handled?
You know, here's a really good one, and I've had some fun. We all have great stories, but you know, we don't care about the size of a move. So this one lady, I'll say it, a wealthy lady, Lexington, Kentucky, a beautiful home. She called me from Dubai, and I had to move some boxes from her attic in Lexington, her mother's house, ship them to Dubai. And I did. Pretty simple thing. Call me 2 weeks later. Ken, can you ship the piano and the bed? Well, yeah, okay, we ship the piano and the bed. Done. Call me again. Ship more stuff. Okay, good. This happened 2 or 3 times. All of a sudden, I'm shipping bathtubs. And I said, Dorothy, what are you doing with the bathtubs? She goes, Ken, I'm building a house here in Dubai, and you're going to ship over all the furniture, all the kitchen cabinet, all the, and Mark, you wouldn't have done that. We wouldn't have done that unless we did those 10 boxes from
The attic, yeah.
Front pit. Talked to her mother in Lexington, how we're going to do it, and we got it there. It was 2 years I went on with this lady. It was pretty neat.
Well, you have the patience, I think, compared with maybe a lot of others, to take care of that lady with her 10 boxes, where a lot of other people go, no, sorry, that's too small for us, we won't do that. You'll take care of that and see where it goes.
Mark, I helped that lady, and I'm not bragging. We helped that lady, we helped her mother. We employed people to do it. If not us, who?
Yeah.
Who's better? Who cares? You know?
We get the job done, everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And it leads to greater things.
And you know what? You push that, Mark. You lead us in that way. Take care of the customer. And we just do. And it started with literally 10 boxes out of an attic. And
amazing, yeah. Well, that's good. What's the most common question that you probably get asked from customers? Is there one?
A common question every time, even before we book a move, Mark, clients have questions. The good ones do. And we encourage those questions, and more of my day is answering those emails, answering the phone. Common questions. How much to ship this couch? And I tell them, look, to move that couch to England or Spain or wherever it might be, it's going to cost you $1,500. Is it worth $1,500? And some will say, it's a $6,000 couch, we should take it. Or, I got it in college, and I got it from my fraternity house, and then well, maybe it's time to pass it back.
Go up a little,
You know, should I take it, and is it worth it? And in fact, 8:30 last night, I'm on the phone with a lady going through every one of her pictures, telling her the price to ship to Portugal. And again, don't make a mistake, lady, ma'am. That kitchen cabinet, you could kind of buy it in Portugal for $200. It's going to cost you $500 to ship. That's the common question, and I know it's a long answer, but helping people with what to ship.
Exactly. I mean, I think we're honest enough that we can say to people sometimes, like, just ditch the old mattress, ditch the bed, just take your other personal stuff. We're not after every penny we can make out of a job. If we see something is stupid, we're not going to make you do it.
Yeah.
We'll say, ditch the bed, buy a new one when you get
there. You must have heard my call last night. Is it common sense? We're not always going to tell you what you want to hear, but we're going to tell you the truth.
We'll be honest with you, definitely.
Is this the right thing for you to do? You decide.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, we're not the only honest company out there moving people overseas, but we are one of them. And there's a lot that aren't.
And I told her, if that kitchen cabinet was from your grandmother and a family heirloom,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
ship it.
Yeah.
But if it's an IKEA,
IKEA,
cabinet,
yeah, exactly.
they have IKEA in Lisbon also.
Yeah, no, exactly. Do you have a funny story about moving or when you've been traveling or anything?
Do we have an hour, Mark? I'll tell you, here's my favorite. Here's really my favorite. And again, it was a great dinner time discussion, even afterwards. She wrote a review. An 86-year-old lady wrote a review on us. She's been calling me from January, maybe through June. Ken, I got 10 boxes packed. Want to see them? Sure, ma'am. Then I got 20. And then a week later, always call me. Margaret was her name. So I got to know Margaret. And Margaret, why are you moving over to this long-named town in Finland that I've never heard of? My 2 sisters are there and my brother, and I'm going home. Well, you live in a pretty nice community here in the States. She goes, I do, but my husband's divorcing me. You're 86. Yes, we were married for 55 years. He could keep it all. He's getting married to a 60-year-old. I told him, I don't want his money. I don't want this. I'm going there, and you're going to move me, Ken. So we moved her, Mark, and we packed it up. We created it. We shipped it over there. She kept calling me. Ken, the men are here in Finland. They're doing a wonderful job. Want to see them? Sent me pictures of the men delivering it. Good. It was all done. When we were done, Mark, right? She calls me like a week later. Do you have the name of the men that were here? Yes, I'll find them. And she was, I made the mittens and I want to give them to them. Good. Here you go. Me? I didn't get any mittens, Mark. I had to go buy Al Bean and buy mine.
Aww.
But that's a funny story. I don't know. It's kind of a nice
lady.
story.
Yeah.
It's again why we get up in the morning.
Yeah, I love everybody's stories. I think it's
You
great.
know, I'm sure you've got a million of them yourself. But go ahead.
So, if you could move yourself anywhere, where would you go? We move all these other people places. If you could live and move anywhere, where would you go?
Mark, nighttime, I say to myself, Sardinia, Italy. Palma de Mallorca. How about the guy we moved to Crete, Greece? He told me to come out and see him. What about Florence, Italy, where all my ancestors are from? Why don't I go see them? They want me to come. Me, I don't know. I'm still in my office. I'm kind of happy there. We go on vacation a week or 2 a year. One of these days I'm going.
We haven't actually said where your office is. Where do you actually live?
I live in Ridgefield, Connecticut. It's about 50 minutes outside of New York City. And we do look at places around the country and around the world. But at my age, I still get an excitement about going into New York City. Always something vibrant, always something happy. We go see a show, we go see a play on that, and wow, it's really fun. But yet, Ridgefield, Connecticut is a beautiful New England town. Not too much exciting goes on there. There's a plant sale near the gazebo. I don't know, the library has some nice programs and author talks. It's a nice place. It is. It's
But
safe.
you can commute into the city quick.
It's, yes. And in the morning, you go to the bank, you get $100 or $200 cash. You go in, you do a survey or 2 surveys. Go to Grand Central, get a bagel and a coffee. Go
Living the
to
life.
52nd Street, and on the way home, get some flowers. I'll say it, and a can of beer on the tray.
Really?
It's a great day.
Wow.
You know, back to getting excited about what you do. Our job, our lives are not boring. You know, you look at that email, something else is coming up.
Always better, yeah.
But
You know, I've been to New York so many times.
Go ahead.
Always on business. Ruby and I are going up to New York the week before Christmas, just for a trip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, to sort of go see Macy's.
Exactly.
We're going to see the Rockettes. You know, just like have a fun time in New York. I've never done it before. I've never actually relaxed and eaten a bagel.
Mark, you see this warehouse here? Beautiful. There's a Lego store this size. I
Really?
never did a Lego in my life.
Oh.
But I was amazed. Then I went to a Lego class right there.
Yeah?
I don't know. It's just I stumbled on it. It was.
I love Lego. You know, in England we call it Lego. Over here you call it Legos. I guess you use more
Go
than
to
one word.
Saks and see the lights at Christmas time. Go to
We're really looking forward to it. Say, it's always been business when I've gone to New York. So
Go.
It'll be fun.
Go 2 days early. Call me ahead of time.
Yeah, we
Mark.
might see you there for a coffee and a beer on the tube or whatever.
No, we'll go to the Waterside Lounge and see the helicopters landing over the river. It's wonderful. To me, I still get excited about it. And even when I was a little boy, at 14 years old, I snuck into Madison Square Garden and watched a boxing fight.
Really?
Yeah, well, back then you could sneak in the door and all that. Now you'd be arrested and everything else. But I watched 14-year. I went with the 16-year. Again, you go into Madison Square Garden, and I think at the time I snuck in. I shouldn't put that on video.
I must admit, when I go back to London, I still love it. There's something about going back to your home city.
Yes.
You know, I didn't live in London. I lived outside of London, but I commuted in. But I love going back to London.
Yeah.
You know, some excitement about. You were there when you were sort of 16 years old.
On the train in, I already know what coffee I'm getting. I already know what bagel I'm getting. I know what cream cheese I'm getting. Come on, let's go. It's.
I understand. Yeah.
It's exciting. So you must do the same thing in London. It's
not very often, but every couple of years or something, we'll go to London and love it. Yeah.
So, and I have to go. I have to get out of Ridgefield and see some of the places I've been invited all over the world. Mark, you think I've gone?
You can start catching up. Yeah.
I should. So what am I waiting for?
I'll tell you one funny story about a big city. Like when I was 20-something, I used to drive around London. I knew London like a cab driver. Now, at my age, I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I can drive in London as if it was yesterday. I still remember all the one-way streets, how to drive around. I can remember that from when I'm like 20 years old, but I can't remember what I did yesterday. Can you drive around New York?
And I walk by and I say, there used to be a pizza shop here. Where's the guy that played the trumpet? You know, I'd always give him, I knew he was there every morning. You could still get your shoes shined. You know, how many leather shoes do we wear anymore? But you know what? I wore them to go in the city last month and I got them shined even though they didn't need it. I just wanted to see it done. Price went up a little bit, but
how much does it cost then to get your shoes shined? I've never had that
$8,
done.
$10. It used to be $2.
Plus tip, or that includes tip?
No, it was $8. I gave him $2. Is that enough? I hope it was. It's
So
$10.
you gave him $10,
Yeah.
For what, a 2-minute shoe shine?
But Mark, man, those shoes felt.
They look good.
You know, those shoes. I walked in those shoes happier than I walked in those shoes. 12 years I've had those shoes. They never look better.
Good. Good for you. So, any messages for our customers before you go? Any
You know
advice?
what? We should stick to moving, Mark, because that's why they're looking at this thing.
Well, I think we have most of our life, haven't we?
Prepare. And yes, some, like the lady moving to Finland, start 6 months ahead of time and prepare. Have your questions done ahead of time. Think of everything you could think of, and then ask whoever you're using, is there anything I missed or anything else that I should know?
What should I have asked? Yeah.
That's important. And I don't know if this is the right thing, but there's contracts, there's legalese, there's all that stuff, fine print. But do you trust that person? Do you know that that person cares? And do they really care? And you know that. You've gone this far in your life. You know if you could trust somebody. We're not always the cheapest one in town. And make sure you know what you're buying and who you're buying from. And really, do they really care? And I put that on my signature mark. And I know it ain't the most catchy line in the whole world, but Euro USA, you pack, we ship, we care. And it comes from you. It comes from you. It comes from, it's the culture of our company. And whether you pick U-Pack, whether you pick us, you'll know if they care or not. Do they answer the phone in 3 rings? Do they speak in plain English to you?
Do they know what they're talking about? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then, yes, are they licensed? Yes, do they have reviews and all that? But before you even get there,
Because at the end of the day, they're trusting you with all their treasured possessions. It's not as if we're moving a bunch of junk. I mean, these are the things that they treasure. Otherwise, they wouldn't be shipping them halfway around the world in the first place, right? So, I mean, these are their treasured things, maybe from their parents, grandparents.
exactly.
Pictures they've got on holidays and things. I mean,
Mark, I have a bookshelf that I made with my father when I'm maybe 10 years old. I don't know. It looks like a 10-year-old made the bookshelf, but you know what? I'm keeping it. It
means a lot to you.
does.
Maybe
I
not
could
to
buy a
anybody
bed
else,
somewhere.
but
I could buy a new dresser somewhere. The bookshelf is coming. I don't know. It's.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, I've got one piece of furniture from my grandmother in our house. You know, it's whether it fits in the house or not, it stays in the house because it.
Yeah, you know, anybody
move
could
it around
wrap
with
the
us.
bed. Anybody could wrap, give you 20 boxes. But, you know, are they really gonna? You've got 2 or 3 things that are important to you in there, or 5 things. A guitar from somebody. It was a Les Paul electric guitar we moved, Mark. Thousands of dollars he insured for. You know what? We cared for as much of that guitar as I cared for somebody else's guitar, a street musician. You know, that's important. The
Exactly,
caring
yeah.
that needs to come, and the trust.
If someone's going to pay to have it shipped, it better get there in one piece. Otherwise, what's the point of shipping it? So that's what we do. Well, that was fun. Anything else? Any final message?
Yes, use U-Pack, we ship. Use us if you want caring. A simplified move. It's not as complicated as it's perceived to be. Our staff does a really good job with documentation. We're going to get it right. Yes, you're going to have some responsibility, but we're going to check it. We're not going to let you make a mistake on a customs form. We're going to, wait a minute, you should have left 3 blank. You didn't initial page 2. That's important because, yes, stuff moves by truck and boat, but it really moves on paper. And you know what? Classify that sword. It shouldn't go as a sword. It should go as a wall decoration. Those are the kind of things, you know, for it to go through customs.
Don't put stuffed animal on your packing list.
Exactly,
please.
Mark. Well, you've done this once or
Just
twice.
put it down as a toy.
Exactly. A wall decoration.
Yeah.
You know, a guy, and we'll help you with that. Are our rates competitive? Yes. Could we do it? Yes. Will we hold your hand and help you?
Good
And
point.
that's what we do.
Good point. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Ken. It was always a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Mark.
Thank you.
I enjoyed
Sweaty
this.
handshake in 90 degrees in our warehouse studio.
Let's do it again next week.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.